Adults read an average of 12 books per year in the US. Since I have a book channel, I read a little more. As of right now, 82 to be exact. So let's quickly review them, shall we? Also, if I'm short and negative with a book you like, I'm sorry. There's just too many books to review in this video and not enough time to fully explain my thoughts. So starting off with January, I read a few books in Korea. I started 2024 with Welcome to the Hyunamdong Bookshop by Hwang Borum. This felt like a Legends and Lattes type of cozy book where the female main character quits her corporate job and opens up a bookshop with a cafe in it. Now, if you're watching this video, do we all not imagine doing something like this? Then I read Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus, a brilliant chemist in the 1960s experiencing sexism, love, and success as a cooking show host. This is an extremely good read. The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Mortal Girl, Fae Prince. This was my first taste at fantasy romance in my adult life, and I like it. Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. Now, as I'm reading this, I'm on the plane ride home from Korea. I was interested at first because of all the hype, but this book is lucky I had nothing to do for several hours on the plane. Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I liked it, but not as much as I thought I would. Twisted Love by Anna Huang. I am now starting to understand what a brother's best friend trope is. I was so innocent before this book. Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I can now see the benefits and feel the satisfaction of a super floppy book, but I've also had a taste of what a bad third act conflict is. Moving on to the next month of reading. In February, I continued the Folk of the Air trilogy with The Wicked King by Holly Black. I was actually very impressed with this book, as was most people who read it, I think. Twisted Games by Anna Huang. I enjoyed Twisted Love better. I think this was a little bit slower paced for me, and I could kind of tell what was going to happen early on. Also, it may not be my type of spice. Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. I finished the Folk of the Air trilogy. I didn't see the romance in the beginning, but I loved how it was toward the end. I also liked how tough she was. The Story Life of AJ Fikri by Gabrielle Zevin. I read this for Haley Pham's 5-star video where I matched the color of the book with her husband Ryan Trahan's Joyride candy. So for this book, since it's red, I ate the sour strawberry strips, which is usually my go-to flavor, either strawberry or chocolate. The candy was tasty, but the book? It was just okay. The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. My second Lynn Painter book. For this one, I ate the sour pink lemonade strips because the cover's pink. Both the candy and the book I recommend. The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I ate the sour green apple strips to match this book. Neither were my favorite. Sorry. Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. I found my favorite flavor, the sour blue raspberry strips. The read was really good too. Gordon Ramsay had Ryan Trahan on his YouTube channel, and Gordon blind tasted Ryan's candy trying to guess what the flavor was. So when Ryan said that the flavor is blue raspberry, Gordon was like, that doesn't even effing exist. Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. I wanted to read this series so badly because of the beautiful covers, but it fell a little short. I did like the fine print better than this one. This one just didn't make me believe in their love. Moving on to March. Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. This was perfect for my 24-hour reading challenge. It was interesting, so it kept me awake, and it was fast-paced, so it was very helpful for this challenge. Destroy Me by Tahira Mafi. This is a novella that follows Shatter Me but shows from a different point of view. And here I can see where the Aaron Warner fandom comes from. Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. I read a comment on one of my videos recommending this book, so that's why I picked it up. It's a dual point of view, and the guy's name is Jace, which my brain didn't register that that's a guy. So I was a little confused for the first few chapters, not realizing that the chapters were going back and forth between the female and the male main characters. But don't worry, I got it. And I like the strong female main character. Credence by Penelope Douglas. I bought this at half price books when it was like selling for $18, but I got it at half price for like $11? So I thought I was getting a really good deal. Oh, Penelope Douglas and her taboo family romances. I hope she's spending this year's holidays not awkwardly, but also, I like this book. The Deal by L. Kennedy. This saved my opinion on ice hockey romance. It was a quick, light, fun read. The Final Offer by Lord Asher. Not the best romance book, but I think the best out of the 3 in the trilogy. Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. Who knew that I would like a middle grade book? Unravel Me by Tahira Mafi. I'm continuing to love this series. One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book taught me that the premise of the book is very important. I no longer want to read these types of uncomfortable situations, but it was written pretty well. Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I think this is my least favorite out of all the Ali Hazelwood books, but I think my favorite cover. I explained further in my 24-hour reading challenge video, but I did have some problems with this book. Caravel by Stephanie Garber. Totally unexpected, came out of left field, knocked it out of the park. And baseball fans, please don't come for me. I know that makes no sense baseball-wise. Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. I forced myself to read this book since I bought it, but it did not increase my liking for the series. April. I started off April with Ignite Me by Tahira Mafi. At this point, I'm still liking the series a lot, but for some reason, I stopped here for the rest of the year. I don't know why. One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. I read this for a video where I read other booktubers' favorite books. I love Carrie Can Read, which is where I got the recommendation from, but I guess it just wasn't for me, unfortunately. Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. Thank you for showing me that historical romances can be funny and entertaining. The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. This is a very good example of a story being good, but not the ending. There were also a couple of loose ends that I felt like weren't tied up, but it was still a good read. Foster by Claire Keegan. Just so cute. Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. The ending? My jaw dropped. Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. It was okay, but I felt kind of bad for the male main character. That would be such a sucky position to be in. But I'm the odd one out though, because so many other booktubers love this book. None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. What the heck is this book? That can either be a good thing or a bad thing. I'm still not sure. Love in the Big City by Sang Young Park. Kinda boring. I'm sorry. Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. Wow, this was simultaneously funny and heartbreaking. The Right Move by Liz Tom Ford. Hello, one of the best romance books I've ever read. I'll see your succeeding book soon. The Last Tale of the Flower Bride by Rashani Chakshi. It was an odd book. I don't think I was able to appreciate it for what it was. Wildfire by Hannah Grace. No. This wasn't really swoon-worthy, and I didn't like where they were doing it. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. I found the audiobook to be a little more entertaining than reading the book for some reason. It was cute, and Emily Wilde is lovable. May. Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Here I am attempting another 24-hour reading challenge video when I'm about to leave for Europe in a few days. But I read The Thing, it was cute, but it didn't seem super original. Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I loved how fast it read, and the situation was a little bit more comfortable than One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Funny Story by Emily Henry. Now I'm actually in Europe. Unfortunately, this is my least favorite out of all the Emily Henry books that I've read so far. I just thought they worked better as friends than lovers. Defy the Night by Bridget Kimmerer. This is the first book that I told my husband about, and he actually was interested in it. So great book. Betting on You by Lynn Painter. Reads a little too young adult for me, as in the characters were a little immature, for my taste anyways. June. We have Bride by Ali Hazelwood. We are now back in America and my camera broke in Europe, so I decided to do a 7 books in 7 days shorts reading challenge while my new camera gets delivered. So yes, I read this book and the next 6 books in 1 day each. Thanks to this book, I learned what an Omegaverse is. It wasn't as weird as I thought it would be, and the book was okay. The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. It kind of reminded me of Miss Congeniality, but a little different. I really liked it. Hooked by Emily McIntyre. Who knew that you could make Peter Pan, a children's story, this sexy? Emily McIntyre did. Happily Never After by Lynn Painter. Not bad. The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. So grateful to have discovered her as an author, and I'll probably read everything she writes. My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine. A great book, but the dumbest ending I've read in a romance book by far. Portrait of a Scotsman by Evie Dunmore. A little boring. The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. My new camera finally arrived, so I continue to film the 24-hour reading challenge that I abandoned the month before. And I really like this book. When in Rome by Sarah Adams. So cute! Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yaros. Good, but I didn't like how the characters could just drop like flies. The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I like the twist for The Housemaid better. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Whoa, I did not know that this was that type of book. Not my style, so I won't read the second one. Scarred by Emily McIntyre. A dark romantic reimagining of The Lion King. I think I liked Hooked better. Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. It was cute. July. I felt the power of morning sickness this whole month, so I did not read anything. If you didn't already know, yes, I'm currently pregnant. So we move on to August, where I read Powerful by Lauren Roberts. It's a pretty good book for a novella. Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monaghan. It took a little bit for me to start caring about these characters, but I got there eventually, and then I really liked it. September. Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. This one felt like it had more spice scenes than the actual plot, so I didn't feel any pull to the characters. Finley Donovan is Killing It by Elle Cosimano. Now this is what I'm talking about. So much happening in the plot and I loved it. Reckless by Lauren Roberts. Now we're back to basically nothing happening in the plot. October. we have The Rom-Comers by Catherine Center. We've now fully moved into our new and current place, and I really like this book a lot. The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. I audiobooked this while I was baking cookies, and I did not like it. The Ministry of Time by Kaylee-Ann Bradley. A bit of a heavier read than I thought it would be, and it's also sad. I wanted to cry, but I didn't. Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I gave up coffee because of the pregnancy, so while this was a good read, it was also difficult because it made me crave coffee. The X-Hex by Erin Sterling. Funny, good story. Babel by R.F. Kwong. Intimidating, but better than I expected. Zodiac Academy by Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. I'm glad I like this book because now I have 11 more to go. Nocticadia by Carrie Lake. This is a dark academia romance book between a student and her professor. It was more gross than I prefer, but that's on me. I should have known better. But otherwise, not a bad book. November. The Christmas Tree Farm by Laurie Gilmore. Again, I listened to this as an audiobook. Better than The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, but still not something I'd recommend. Cruel Winter with You by Ali Hazelwood. Ugh, I can't believe I like this novella this much. Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. I love hearing about the different jobs that I don't know about, and I got to slightly learn the mind of a window dresser in this book. It was a good read, not bad. Only Santa's in the Building by Alexis Daria. Short and fun. People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Oh man, best friend romance. It was okay. The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I liked it. Could not guess who the bad person was, so I liked it even more. We have finally caught up to this month, December. I haven't updated you guys on what I've been reading this month because of the busyness of Bookmas, but here we go. Two Can Play by Ali Hazelwood. This is only available as an audiobook. It was okay, but it's hard to super like a miscommunication trope. Killer Instinct by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Again, I could not guess who the bad person was. I liked it. Night Shift by Annie Crown. A miscommunication trope where the female main character in this book says that she doesn't like the miscommunication trope. Hello? But still a fun read. And those are all of the books that I've read this year so far. Yes, the year has not ended, but that's 82 books thus far. And I am still reading a little bit, so 82 will not be the final number for this entire year. But there we go, all the books I read in 2024 thus far. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!